Hello, my name is Zoe Upson, and I'm the director of a company recently rebranded of Fact Talent, that's freight and commodity talent. But today I'm here to speak about my journey and my experience of being a female broker in a very male-dominated industry. So just to go back, I'm originally a girl from Leigh-on-Sea in Essex. I come from entrepreneurial parents. And what I found is I kind of fell into shipping, but what I quickly found was that it was a very male-dominated space. And this is something throughout my career that I've really wanted to change. It's not always been easy for myself. I've always felt that I've had to work twice as hard. And it's been, I feel, a more challenging journey than my male counterparts. So I'll explain how I actually fell into shipping, which has been, you know, the most fantastic, let's call it, not an accident, but, you know, I just absolutely adore the shipping industry for many reasons, mainly just the relationships that you form across the years and the characters you meet. And even though we're such an international, global, huge market, what I find is that you really form bonds and friendships that will last you a lifetime. So I went to university. I ironically studied philosophy, but I always knew that I wanted to work in a commercial environment. And someone at school, one of the careers advisor, said to me, well, if you always want to work in business, Zoe, why don't you do something different? So I opted for philosophy, and I think that gave me a really interesting, in-depth, out-of-the-box outlook on life, and something that I could bring different to other economic or business studies competitors, let's say, for graduate roles. I actually starting off in my first job I went to a recruitment agency and I got a job locally here in Leigh-on-Sea, Essex, and I worked in recruitment. And I was recruiting people into shipbroking shop, and a young guy called Arthur said to my boss, or my previous boss, John Banaskovich of FIS, and he said, you know, this girl's really good, get her while she's young. So I went in for an interview. It was very short, it was very brief. And it was like, how much money do you want? You know, you can start with us. You've got 3 weeks to learn this or not. So I went into the office on my first day. There was lots of swearing. It was very aggressive. And I simply was told to learn it or not. Now, in order to me to keep my job, I had to work very, very hard. And I walked around to other brokers and I just said, have you got accounts which don't do any business? And they said, yeah, here's one, I'll give you a go. And I managed to get a relationship from that and then built up my business. And that was me. I was a dry FFA broker. And, you know, my experience has been so fantastic that I'd like to see more women in the environment. But I started to question, you know, why aren't women, you know, more women there? And I sort of saw as I was developing my career that it was kind of hard. You know, you had to work twice as hard. When you were forming relationships with your clients in the market, you wanted to have fun and be one of the boys, but you also had to be respected and make sure your clients see you as a broker. And that was kind of difficult because, you know, we'll talk about this on another panel, but it's almost like smashing stereotypes and not treating, you know, women stereotypically as a woman and allowing her to be respected as a broker. So that was something I really wanted to change. And then moving forward, you know, some years after that, I tried to hire more women onto my broking desk. At this stage, I was the head of wet desk at FIS, trading tanker FFAs. And I said to John B, look, I think we need to get more women in. I think it's an advantage. And he was fully behind it. And he said, okay, let's get some more women in. So what I quickly found was that not many women actually wanted to come into the industry. I couldn't find many women, and I felt like at that point something needed to be done. So I met with two girls who were working at Shell, and I wanted to employ them, but they were too expensive and it wasn't going to work. But we sort of sat together and said, look, this is fantastic. We've loved meeting one another today, and the women in the industry need to sort of get together and make a change. So what I did was we formed a group there and then, and it's called Women Together. We initially just started up going for a few drinks and whatever in London, and that has grown so organically since. And the reflection of the growth just demonstrates what a change is needed here and how women want the change. And simply what we want is just to see more women in the industry and more women in senior roles. If there aren't more women in senior roles, then it's really difficult to get these changes happening. To tell you a little bit about Women Together, Women Together is a fun, dynamic group for women in shipping, commodities and trading. It's a vibrant hub where like-minded women come together to share insights. We offer mutual support and we network. We also empower one another and elevate, our careers and, our mindful well-being. It can be quite difficult some days when you're a woman and you're in this industry, and often more than not, from my experience, I was the only female broker on the desk. And many times, as far as I'm aware, in the industry, I have been the only female head of desk, and in fact, the only female mother in the freight derivatives sector. And this sort of, sometimes you need to vocalize this with someone else, and through this group, I've been able to do so. So we started off in International Petroleum Week for bigger events, and we did a couple of breakfasts there. And this summer, we actually, after lockdown and COVID, we hosted our first sponsored event, which was sponsored by people in the market. And it was an absolute huge success. We're going to be doing more of this. And what we've just found, again, like I've already said, is just women want these changes, and it's so obvious in the fact that the demand for this group is so high. And I'm hoping with this group, and also, which I'm now going to talk about, is my new business, we're going to make these changes. So after some years in broking, I decided to step back for various reasons. Broking is very, very long hours. As I've always said, you have to work twice as hard, twice as fast, twice as smart, just to sort of even compete with your male counterparts. And I was spending a lot of hours away from home. I'm a mother. I have a 5-year-old daughter, and I really wanted that to change. So I decided that I have a fantastic network in this industry, and I also want to make a change. I want to see more women in the industry, senior positions, and I thought, how can I do that? And for me, the obvious choice was a talent solutions business. So since then, I set up a business called Oceanblu Commodities Recruitment, and we've recently rebranded to become Fact Talent, which is freight and commodity talent. And the business has been an absolute success. We're swiftly becoming the market leader in shipping and commodities talent solutions. We are our clients' go-to partner for business and critical strategic hires. And something that we are really proud of is that we have unique insight into female and BAME hires, and we incorporate that every day into our business models. My last 2 hires have been female, which we're incredibly proud of. And I'm also working on 2 internship programs for summer next year, so 2022, in which we are working to do an internship program, not only to see an increase in women, but also for those from diverse backgrounds or poorer backgrounds. These internships are going to be paid, and we're going to be reaching out to universities, and I'm working with, I can't disclose now at this stage who this is with, But this is something in which, in order to get this ball moving and rolling, we have to start from the bottom up, and we have to get more people back in from the beginning. And the other strategies are to see more women in this industry is to work with firms, which I do, to improve on their maternity leave packages and return to work support. And also getting women who have left the industry to come back, and also to source and get women from other sectors to get them across to shipping. So that is a little bit about myself. If anyone would like to reach out to me to discuss anything I've spoken about today further, if you're considering a career in shipping or shipbroking and you feel that you may need some mentorship, I'm always available to guide and to help, as I've been there myself. And as I say, I'm Zoe Upson, and it's been great to be a part of this. I just want to say thank you so much to Sanjam to involving me in Maritime SheEO. It's been such an honor and privilege, and I'm really proud to be speaking at this conference and working with you. Thank you so much.